Today we are deep in the heart of the Cumberland Plateau, just outside of Sparta, Tennessee. Forget the paved trails, we're geared up with hard hats and headlamps to venture where few casual hikers ever go, and that's Lost Creek Cave, which features one of the largest cave openings in the entire state of Tennessee. We'll be navigating slick rock ledges, crossing through an underground stream, and the best part, at the end of the cave, hidden deep underground, is a 40-foot waterfall, all under the guidance of Scotts Gulf Wilderness State Park Park Ranger Lacey Billings, who gives a lot of interesting information, entertained us, and kept every one of us, including this 54-year-old woman, safe during the 3-hour tour. Now, on to the video. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Luciana from Adventures Before Dementia, and today you may be wondering why I'm wearing long sleeves in the middle of June. Well, I'm going to a ranger-led tour of Lost Creek Cave at Scotts Gulf Wilderness State Park.
We'll take this pretty slow and steady. I'm not just gonna zoom through. I got pretty short legs, so I can't. It's pretty good at some points in the cave and pretty bad at others. We do have to climb for around 30 seconds. It's not bad. And there's another spot where you have to climb up, so that's easier for you. So yeah, there's a couple spots, but I'll let you know before we get there. Whenever we get out of the cave, that's when we'll decontaminate our shoes. So that's why we have the brushes. So we'll just wash our shoes off in the water. So this area was once owned by private property. So the guy's name was Rylander, which is why we have our Rylander Cascade. So actually, he passed away, and it was in his will to give his land to Tennessee State Park. So that's how we acquired this land. Whenever he owned it, people kind of like just came and went as they pleased. You'll find your bigger bats in West Tennessee. So here's a really cool spot. You can see this rock facing right here, all the different layers. And once we get down here, you can kind of see it through the trees right here. There's a identical pretty much rock facing right there. So why do we think that happened?
Ice.
Ice. So actually, with how similar they look, this rock and this rock were once connected. So that's how we found most of our cave entrances like this. It's pretty big. And so that means that there was a sinkhole here at one point. So a sinkhole fell, opened the mouth of this cave, and then created the waterfall in the process, which is really, really cool. So here, you can see, let me see. They must be out and about right now, but we call them rock doves.
Oh, we saw those.
They're like, they're pigeons pretty much, they just live in the rock facings. They're pretty popular, so you'll see a lot of bird poop down there. That's how most of our caves here are created. White County and Van Buren County, so Spencer, is kind of like the caving capital, pretty much, of the United States. Because White County and Van Buren, we kind of have the most cave systems in Tennessee.
Wow.
It's really, really cool. And I think the next one up is Missouri, I believe. They have the second most. And we're gonna get down. In general, is pretty dry, just besides the water that comes in. Our cave, just like the walls and everything, it's moist but not really wet. So here is our waterfall right now, because we haven't really had a lot of rain recently. So I'm really glad it's going like this. So if you guys want to take photos, right here you can tell the temperature change. Usually right where we stopped up there is kind of where you feel it, but it's a little chillier today. It's not as hot. So right here, you can definitely feel it. It's like a ghostly feeling.
Yeah.
So our caves and most caves stay around 56 to 58 degrees all year round. So a lot of people would come in here to get away from the summer heat, but also come in here to warm up from winter. Because if it's -2 outside, it's still 56 in the cave. But yeah, you'll notice, especially like through here, what does this area kind of look like?
Creek bed.
Yeah, that's because it pretty much is. So, especially when we get closer to the waterfall, you'll notice that all the stones are tumbled and very, very smooth. So, essentially, we are walking in a creek bed that is in a cave.
What's the likelihood of seeing a snake inside of the cave?
Near the mouth. More likely in the mouth than farther in, but snakes kind of really like it warmer. And so 56 is honestly too kind of chilly for a snake. So this is a really cool spot. So who has seen the 1994 live action Jungle Book? So right up there is where the old trail to come down was. Pretty dangerous. And I definitely do not recommend doing it.
I like the new one better.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So actually, our new parking lot and those stairs coming down were made by Disney.
Oh.
Really?
Yep. So they were all made by Disney. We've upkept them since they've made it. But, so they talked to Rylanders like, hey, we're shooting a movie. We love your waterfall in the cave. Can we use it? He's like, sure. He was a pretty chilled guy. So they made all this going down. And so the waterfall is used in the movie. The cave entrance is used in the movie. And also Fall Creek Falls was used in the movie and Ozone Falls. So all around our area. So whenever they were shooting the movie, they actually had a lion statue bolted to this rock. So you can see like right here is one of the bolts. And there's different spots all over this rock right here. So it was actually a styrofoam lion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they would have the camera back here and they shot it this way. So it was a really cool shot. But whenever they were packing up and they finished the movie, they just left the lion here. And so it stayed here for quite a while, longer than you would expect. But one day it kind of just went missing. And so everyone was talking about it. So eventually we kind of figured out that it is now at a fraternity at Tennessee Tech. It's now the mascot of one of the fraternities. We're not gonna fight them for it. We don't own it anyway. But yeah, that's where the lion went. It's honestly one of my favorite stories to tell. I think it's really interesting. Caving is one of my favorite things to do. So I will probably talk your ear off. If I'm talking too much, just tell me to shush. Yeah, it's right there. Just comes out right here. So it's kind of like the caver's least interesting passage. It literally just does a big loop. But look at these on the ceiling.
Shine your light with the back.
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think this
If you
is?
shine your light.
Shine?
Yep.
I do not know.
Any guesses?
Is that the fool's gold?
It's actually not.
Is it the
It's not
stars and
pyrite.
stalactites?
Possibly. It's actually just moisture.
Ah.
So I get a lot of kids on my cave tours, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, there's gold in the ceiling! I'm gonna be rich!" And I'm like, "Nah. Unless you can get rich off of moisture and water, I don't really think so." So right here it says it's actually a good talking point too. You can kind of see where another cave-in happened. So all of these rocks just fell. So that's why it's kind of shaped like this. And it's kind of like a clear, like, cut dome right there where all that fell. But yeah, you'll notice if you look at the ceiling in the cave, like later on, it's different colors too. So it just depends on whatever rock it's on, and also microbiomes in the water, which is really interesting.
Those look like gold.
Cave crickets.
Oh yeah, they're the big cave crickets. Yeah, you can kind of tell the difference between, because we have two different types of cave crickets here. So those ones have color to them, they're brown. So that means that they'll come out of the cave and in the cave. They kind of go in and out. But you also see like pure white ones, which are ones that only stay in the cave. Oh, wow, there's another big one. He's huge. Cool. A little bit later on. So this is a pretty cool spot, little ledge right here. Indentions cut out of it. Through there. There's little ones in the wall. So actually, whenever we first started surveying our cave, we found mason jars in those.
Oh.
Like old mason jars.
Huh.
And so what we
They're
believe...
making jelly.
Yeah, they're preserving their jelly. So yeah, a lot of people back in like pioneer times, they would come down here because they didn't have electricity or refrigeration. So they would come in here to keep their canned goods or their stuff they needed to keep cold into those little dips in the walls.
Cool.
And so whenever we finally became a state park, we came back in and those mason jars were gone. So somebody definitely stole them. But we have found quite a bit of historic artifacts in the cave and out. So this is a really cool spot because it's not too far deep into the cave, and they would have to do this by lantern. So it wouldn't be too hard for them to get down here to their goods. Wonder what's back there though. That's interesting. Yeah, we do have a couple offshoots of our cave. So I can kind of show you where they are. But this is the main tour we give to the public. It's the easiest. We've done it a million times. We have what's called a saltpeter passage in a saltpeter room. Does anyone know what saltpeter is?
Yes.
What is saltpeter?
To make ammunition.
It is used to make ammunition, but saltpeter itself is actually bat guano.
Oh, I didn't either.
Bat guano. It was used in the Civil War to make ammunition. So a lot of our caves, so this one was used, there was a mining for saltpeter, and then Bone Cave was used for mining saltpeter too. So that's essentially, back in the day when the bat populations were insane, they would come in here, get all the crystallized bat guano, and they would use it to make gunpowder.
Yeah. I never knew that.
Yeah, we kind of have records of people coming in and out of this cave for centuries. So we have early signs of Native Americans in this cave. We have the saltpeter mining from the Civil War. We have carvings from more of 18th century and early 19th. So our cave has been used for generations upon generations. And so I kind of tell people sometimes they'll worry about touching cave walls. Here it's not really an issue. Our cave has been used so much, it's not really going to hurt it too much.
So this whole tunnel is carved by water and just cave in?
Yep. Water and then cave-ins, which I can show you a couple of other spots that have cave-ins as well. Here's kind of a big step down. I'm gonna move you over.
Does this cave fill in with water?
Yeah, it will. So this cave is
Not today.
Not today. This cave is used as a overflow or spillway for the waterfall that is outside.
Gotcha.
So if we have this a torrential downpour, it will run into this cave, and this is why it's pretty much a creek bed.
Gotcha.
Has anyone drowned in it?
Not that I know of. It's not necessarily deep. When it runs, it's just fast. I don't actually know of any injuries that we've had in the cave.
Let's keep it that way today.
Yay! Yeah, especially in cave tours, we try to be very safe. Take you places that only we've been to. We're not doing any exploration today.
On the tours, how long does it typically take to get to the waterfall?
To the waterfall, it depends on the speed of the group. We're actually going pretty fast right now. So, say around an hour and a half maybe, around there. So what do you think this would have been a good spot for?
Camping.
Yeah,
I've slept here.
you have?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Back when I was a kid, scouts, we used to come and sleep in here.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's a perfect spot for sleeping and camping out. And so what we believe is that this is probably where our Native Americans probably settled. If they wouldn't have stayed here for long periods of time, but overnight, maybe a couple days, because they have access to water, place where they can sleep. And this wall right here, we call our wall of shame.
Oh,
So, you see all the graffiti on it, some pretty bad. But we've kind of gotten rid of most of our graffiti in our cave besides this wall. Does anyone know why we would have kept this wall?
As an example to not do it.
Yeah, as an example of not doing it. But also, if Native Americans did settle here, this would be the perfect spot for them to have a Native American petroglyphs. So right in the cave wall. And we are kind of scared because the way we have to get rid of graffiti is just taking a metal brush and scraping it off. So if there's any Native American writings underneath this, it would be lost forever.
yeah.
So yeah, this would be the perfect spot for them to do that because they'd be camping out. And another cool thing I like to show people, if someone wants to step on this rock, you see right here?
Oh, looks like a face.
Yeah, looks like a,
Looks like a Native American.
yep, Native American man. There's his nose, his bridge of his eyebrows, and it looks like he's wearing a headdress. So it's a really, really cool spot. I love showing kids this. But I think it's really interesting. Because a lot of people just don't like look up like this. So a lot of people miss it.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
So this is kind of this perfect rectangle. What do we think that would be?
Sean Steele?
Moonshine still. So yeah, that's what we believe. So you can still see the ashes, and you'll notice that ashes and soot stays in caves for pretty much ever. It stays for a long time. So it is carved out perfect, so it wasn't naturally like this. They carved it out. So this would have been where a moonshine still was. Because in the 1920s, there is the prohibition. So, I mean, around our area, that is a lot of kind of what our people kind of thrived on. So they made moonshine and sold it, and pretty illegal. But you can see right here, right there, right there, right there's a big one. That's where all of the smoke kind of went into. So, as you see, it stays around forever. But those are little cracks in the rock. And so, a police officer could have been up top, searching for people making moonshine, and he could just see smoke coming out of the ground and have no clue where it's coming from. So this was kind of a perfect spot for them to be making moonshine.
When were the last moonshine operations snuffed out?
I'm not exactly sure a date, but Prohibition honestly didn't last that long. And so, but even now, people still make moonshine. And they hide their skills. So honestly, it kind of never ended. So this is kind of a little difficult ways, but just make sure you have stable footing. Yeah, just remember 3 points of contact too. Your butt does count as points of contact. So if you want to slide on that, you sure enough can.
Like that.
Maybe a little safer, but that works too. Kind of a toss up whether or not we will see them. So what we just saw was the wall of shame up there. So what's the difference between this and the wall of shame?
This looks historical.
It does look historical.
Looks like a bench.
There's a bench right here, but there's carvings on the wall. So it's kind of a big philosophical, yes, thank you, debate I like to give people is because most people think that this could be considered graffiti too. It's just historical. So it's kind of like will people 100 years from now think the Wall of Shame is something really cool and that this is what our ancestors did? Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting spot. So this says Halley 1891, and we think that we actually know who Halley is. So we've gone through our records and history from around our area. We believe this woman's name was Hallie Burton. So we have her again over here for 1891. So Hallie Burton, but below it we have a Mary Burton.
Oh, that's a B.
Oh,
Or is it a P?
that's a B.
Oh,
here.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, Mary Burton, and then we have two names under it, 1919. And so what we believe was Hallie is Mary Burton's mother. And then Mary Burton is Beecher Wallace's mother. So Beecher Wallace is the Beecher Wallace house is where our park office is, where the rangers' desks are. And so Beecher Wallace was a very prevalent man around our area. And so we believe that that was Beecher's mother and then two of Beecher's children. So cool thing about it is that Beecher was kind of the Mr. Krabs of his time. He was very much a penny pincher. He hated spending money. And so he only had one mule for the entirety of his farm, and he also ran grist mills. So this poor mule would wake up in the morning, immediately be drugged to the grist mill, work all day, and then come back and then farm all day.
Poor mule.
Poor mule. I feel bad for that mule. But yeah, and so we believe is that so Beecher's children would come in here while their dad was away, and so they would play or kind of beat the heat before their dad got back. Because whenever they got back, they'd have to go to work. So yeah, this is a really cool spot, and you'll notice it looks like a bench. So they probably sat here and they could have read or played games or done anything, and they carved their names on the wall. And we did kind of have to do some work on this too. You can tell that the stone is different than what's around it. And so we did, I believe, sandblast this. But this is all natural if how it was. So this is a really, really cool spot. We also have a Clyde right here, 68. Now, I don't know if that's 1968 or 1868, but we haven't been able to track down Clyde. But I'm really curious as to where he came from. Yeah, and we have some other little ones too. But these are kind of our big ones that we like to talk about.
There's Henry 26 right there.
Do you have Henry?
No, I'm just kidding.
Typical that it happens, but there is one location that we are monitoring right now.
Gotcha.
It's by the waterfall. I'll show it to you guys when we get there, but it hasn't fallen yet, and honestly, we might not even be alive when it does. Here's a really cool spot. I just found it. Does anyone know what this is? It's really cool.
Where the leaves are?
Yep. White.
Is it mold
That's some kind of
or bat guana?
That is mycelium.
Oh.
So mycelium is a mushroom. So when people think of a mushroom, like little mushroom top to stem, that's actually the fruit of the mushroom. So this is actually the mushroom itself, is the mycelium.
That was in the last one.
Yes! Like cordyceps. Yes. I like that you mentioned that. I have a daughter, her name's Ellie. We named her after Ellie from The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we're in talks of if we have a boy, we'll name him Joel. But no, that's a really cool spot, and you'll see mycelium growing in the cave. It is one of the really only things that can grow within our cave. It's from a game called BioShock Infinite. So this is actually a really cool room too. If you guys want to turn off the lights, the little black spots on the ceiling. There is one right there, one right there. There used to be some over there, but that's a cave-in, and one right there. So So it's actually soot and smoke. So, cool story we like to tell. Don't know how true it is. My park manager, Stuart, likes to tell it. So, what I've heard is that a group of witches would come into our cave and they would put lanterns up on the ledges. And so how they're placed makes it to where that the entire room would be lit up.
That's not spooky.
And so they would hold seances and rituals here.
Definitely not spooky.
It's definitely not spooky at all. Now, do I think that's happened? No. Honestly, I do believe that those are lantern marks, most definitely, just from how they're sitting. But I believe it's from the miners, because back through here is where our saltpeter passage is. So the miners would have it's mostly flat here, so they would have used it as a meeting spot before they went into the passages. So really, I think this was just a meeting spot for the miners.
But the witch's story is good.
Yeah, but witch's story is cool too. I usually tell it to kids and freak them out. But yeah, here's a really good example of a cave-in. So you can see how this pretty much perfectly aligns with this. So that has dropped, and we weren't around for it, it's been here forever. But it's a really cool spot. If you go caving by yourself, back there is the saltpeter passage. That one, you do have to crawl quite a bit. That was actually my first experience, like army crawling in a cave. It was a little freaky. So it's pretty tight, so just be prepared for that. And over here is actually another passage under. And this is what we call, through here a little bit ways, we call that our mud room. So it's super muddy. It's not there just yet, but you have to go back a little bit. And then it's knee-deep mud. We don't take people back there. Because frankly, I'm in uniform. So these kind of are makeshift stairs. So I'll have you guys come up first. I'll come up last. I'll be here to make sure that it's one of the tallest rooms. I think it is the tallest room technically in our cave, but it's a really cool meeting spot, so that's what I kind of think.
And that was Grand Central Station?
Yep. Difficult way you could possibly go into it.
Maybe it's to deter people from coming back.
Maybe. Now you have to full on climb like a rock wall, and there's a rope that you have to like rappel down with. Don't recommend it. Here's where it's good to be short. Yep, I'm sorry, Saltpeter. This sucks. Yeah, me and Luciana probably won't even have to duck.
I got over that way.
You can. It is a way. But honestly, squeezing through here is easier. But if you want to, you can.
I had to step on my tippy toes.
Yeah. Yep, I can just stand flat here. I try to give some people the caving experience. Yeah, that's kind of why I don't necessarily have people go that way. So you have tall legs, or long legs, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's alright.
So this is one of our passages. It kind of just sounds like we can walk through there, but honestly, you can. Don't recommend it. So here, right here on this spot, this is where you can slide down on your butt, which is what I usually recommend, or you can go like right there and you can crawl. So I'll go down first and I'll help whoever needs help getting down. So kind of just watch how I get down. So you have to kind of swing your body a little bit. So that's usually what I do. Then I'll stand here and help you guys down.
Let's see it over here.
So do I put my foot between your legs?
Yep, there's a little ledge right here.
Let's see.
Or you can,
If you're tipping your foot down like this, it's a lot easier than if you're trying to ski pole.
Right.
there you go. So yes, this first one is where you can slide. And over there is where you can crawl. But I already went sliding.
Is right here about where you want me to stand?
Yeah, you can stand, or you can just go ahead and go through.
There or?
Yeah, that's the one you have to crawl. This one you can just slide.
Oh.
Yeah, I usually recommend the slide. Gone forever. Yeah, some people like crawling here. This is what it is.
I'll try falling.
Go too fast. I didn't want to hit you.
All good?
You want to lay
Sorry if I'm
on your back,
sliding.
Henry?
It sounds like we go there. We don't. So this is actually where we crawl.
Is sand brought in here? Or?
No. Oh. Yeah, I said conveniently there's sand here. We didn't bring it in.
Oh, when you said that,
It's
I thought.
actually convenient that we brought there's sand here. But yeah, this used to be water through here, so ocean. We actually have found some fossils in here.
Any arrowheads?
Do you know? Not that I know of. I don't know.
Is that what's on the rocks up through there?
Oh, those markers.
See the market?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Is that so people know where to come back out or something?
Yeah, I'll leave it, but I don't have record of someone
What is that?
doing. Where?
No, I think
Oh,
it's color.
probably the mycelium.
Oh. But I'll definitely talk to Cody about this because I'm not sure.
Do you want to take a picture of it so you can?
Yeah. Yeah, because we haven't done any more
Mapping or?
mapping of the cave or anything, and if we did, it wouldn't be through here.
I see somebody, they leave like breadcrumbs. Leave
Yeah.
those, then get them on their way out.
Yeah.
Pick them up.
So they might.
Which we don't have any wildlife that's going to eat them or anything, so it's fine to leave them. If we have to clean them up later, I expect. I kind of just crab walk 90% of it, but yeah. So this,
You might be doing a little bit of
you might be doing a little
Yeah.
the almond.
Oh, here's some mycelium. You guys can get really up close with this one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it looks like spider webs. It's really, really cool. So we are trying to get to be able to do DNA tests on these, and I'm thinking all that we're seeing is actually the white nose syndrome.
Oh.
The what?
The white nose
oh,
syndrome.
really?
Yeah, we're thinking
That's the bad.
that's the bad. There's one through here, I believe. I found it my last time here, and it was a huge clump of white nose syndrome, and
White nose syndrome.
I'll tell you about that in there.
Okay.
But there's a huge clump of it, and it actually condensation was coming out of it, and it was kind of freaky. It was red, like red beads were coming out of it.
Like it was bleeding
Like
almost?
it looked like it was bleeding. It was kind of freaky. Well, here's another cave cricket. Oh, and like is that an inchworm? That is tiny.
He's a worm, yeah.
Huh. I don't know what he's doing back in here.
Thirsty.
Sucking up that moisture. And this is why we provide helmets.
I think it was a baseball catcher for a bit.
Oops.
Yeah, over here is somewhat standing room. So yeah, white nose syndrome. So it looks like that is a fungus. White nose syndrome actually came from England to here. Invasive, it's pretty bad. So a lot of cavers from England would come here because we're kind of like one of the caving capitals. And so they brought white nose syndrome with them. So white nose syndrome, it affects our local bat populations. It will actually grow on them while they're hibernating, and it will deplete them of their energy sources. Sometimes they will wake up before their hibernation's over. It'll be still winter. There's no bugs. They starve to death. White nose will grow over their faces, and then they suffocate.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why we do our decontamination process. So if you guys go to other caves or just going around, we don't want the spread of white nose syndrome. Which every cave in our area has tested positive, but we're trying to get it to not spread to other caves in the area, or like West Tennessee, which in West Tennessee it's not too big of a deal. So the reason why it hits our bat population so hard is because we have only smaller bats here. So we have like little brown bats or tricolored bats. They're really small. But in West Tennessee, they have bigger bats. So bigger bats aren't really affected by white nose syndrome. And so that's why no one really talks about it in England either, because all their bats are huge. So it just affects ours worse because they're smaller. Yeah. That is white nose syndrome.
Is there a way to organically get rid of it?
It's microscopic. We can't see it is the issue. So we can see it whenever it's in full like mycelium like that, but it'll be like microscopic, teeny tiny, absolutely can't see it like on your clothes or stuff like that. So just throw your clothes in the washer, perfectly fine, dry them on high, and with shoes you just really have to just wash them off in the water.
It's not harmful to people, is it?
No, not at all. This is not going to be a Last of Us situation. Cave of our main tour. You tell, cave-in happened. There's a horror there. But we have to kind of finagle our way through here. So lots of being very careful. Watch where you put your footing. Especially through here. Please, if you're one of the people up front, if you get on a wobbly rock, please call it out so other people can know. I will do this tour for kids, and they'll be yelling wobbity walks. So if I say wobbity walks, you know where it comes from now. And this right here is really cool. You can see where people have been stepping on this and using
For a hand grip.
a hand grip on that. It's pretty interesting. Woo! Okay. Most of these are pretty stable. I've done this tour a million times. There is one rock that is pretty wobbly. But caves change all the time, so. In this one, you don't necessarily have to match my footing either. Whatever's easiest for you, I kind of recommend.
Where my left foot is a little wobbly, but not too much.
Yeah. Thank you for letting people know. This one that my left foot's on is a little wobbly.
That one's wobbly.
This one's also wobbly.
Like 5-year-olds can do it, so can 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, I was questioning this 54-year-old, so.
Oh, everybody here's 25.
Oh yeah. Like, I went to high school with all you. You're talking about. Right there's a little slippery.
I just took a seat.
Get everything through. That wasn't too bad, right?
Nah.
That's pretty good. So up here, I love showing people the ceiling here. You can tell people like how smooth it is. So this one would have been completely filled with water, which most of the other rooms were too. But this one had a lot of currents going through, so that's why it's so smooth. It's really interesting. And this is kind of also a catch-all for whenever the cave does flood. That's why there's leaves, sticks, everything through here. So it kind of catches here before it goes anywhere else.
How often does it flood?
It hasn't flooded, and I think 2022 was the last time. We have to have like a very bad torrential downpour for it to run in the cave.
Gotcha.
And it don't look like it.
Does the mudroom route come out this way?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, but it's just where all the debris and everything catches, so dirt comes in here and collects. So
Gotcha.
that is very wet mud. So we go around. And this area is actually where we're kind of finding some formations happening. So I will try to point them out for you. It is very cool. Everyone says it's like a centimeter every 1,000 years or an inch every 1,000 years. That's not really the case. It can happen much faster. It depends on your water flow. But you can see how wet these walls are right there. That is slowly a formation happening. That right there is actually what cavers call popcorn. So it is the start of cave formations, and the lines through here, which you can see right there too. We call that bacon. It kind of looks like bacon.
Popcorn and bacon.
Popcorn and bacon. So this is actually new. It's happened very recently. And so that means that, especially through here, down this way, we might have stalactites at some point. Yeah, you can see how this is forming.
And we were here at the beginning.
Yes! And that's actually a really cool thing to see, because a lot of caves, their stalactites and stalagmites have formed over millions of years. So we get to see the start of one. Tall people. Head knocker. Very bad. But yeah, all this, that's mud and dirt. So that's all that's piled up in there.
It's getting louder.
It's getting louder, it's getting a little muddier. So honestly, this is kind of the muddiest spot I ever went into. It's not that bad. So I just go for that one.
Sorry. Old lady coming down.
I haven't seen any fish, but we have crawdads here. Yeah. Another thing I like to tell people is that, yeah, that's Lost Creek Falls. That's the waterfall. And some kids will believe it. Because it is a tiny little bitty baby waterfall. But the big one is through here. And would you guys be interested in seeing some fossils?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't have those in Murfreesboro.
So actually it goes in here. Through here. There's a really cool one. Yeah, these are kind of like.
Oh, it's got a star inside of it.
They're kind of like the ancient descendants of like.
The ancient descendant of
name
sand
for
dollars.
them, but I cannot remember it right now. But yeah, that's kind of what's all littered through here.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Oh, there's a huge one right here.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, this is a really cool room. It kind of looks like this is also like seating spots. So this also could be used as a little rest spot too. It's right next to the waterfall. But yeah, you guys can look around this room. Yeah.
People sign the ceiling looks like.
I can't remember the name, but it was like a 4-foot tall sloth. Remains were found in the cave.
At Bone Cave?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why it's called Bone Cave.
How did I not know that?
It was all intact. It is a prehistoric sloth. It was 4 feet tall, and that is one of the main reasons why it's called Bone Cave. And that skeleton is actually on display in the museum.
Well, thank you for that fun fact.
By Rock Island, but with Cardwell Mountain just opening up, they will be the ones managing it. So the key was kind of passed on.
So, like, some people can get special privileges to go on occasion, maybe?
It depends. You have to be like
Some kind of field.
Yeah, some kind of field, like environmentalists or scientists who do research on Bone Cave specifically, or like cave environment, or just about radon and what it can do to people, stuff like that.
Starting to go through the water. See it?
Yeah, it's wonderful. You guys, I would recommend getting on this rock.
Crawdad?
Oh, that's just the fall.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
The spots that we are watching is that rock right there.
We're going up there?
But we're hoping it doesn't come down here.
That's a spot that we're walking.
We're heading back now. Do we go this way?
Yep.
Okay.
So maybe it might be able to. We will sit down for a minute, and this is where we'll do our total darkness. So, please be mindful if you have anything that's glow in the dark, anything like that, phones. Because honestly, this is one of my favorites. So this is total darkness. It's kind of what you can imagine what our ancient ancestors.
Oh, that's a good picture.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
So we don't go that way where it says duck. It's a dead end.
Yeah, it's just a dead end. It's another one of the spots where the water flows through.
Is this where we crawl?
Yep, this is where we crawl. Over here's the easier way. Hey! Over here's the easier way. Over here is the easier way. Yeah, there's a rope you have to use on that way.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's one way down right there.
Follow your lead.
We can't slide up.
Can't slide up.
No.
So, how we hear their voices is what they hear too.
Right. Because your tribes are friendly.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the Cherokee and what, Shawnee here?
Yeah, Shawnee. Also, but if they went through the cave and never saw anybody, that's cryptid.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to Grand Central Station.
Yeah. Some people ask about these little indentions in the floor.
I was wondering that.
It's for where the water's dripping from the ceiling.
Okay, cool.
So it's slowly eroding them into little holes. So you'll see that all over these like muddy,
very, very interesting.
hard dirt spots.
So over there is saltpeter,
Yeah, over
And-
here
and
is
this-
the saltpeter cave.
and over here where the steps are leads to the waterfall. Mud is over that way.
I want to wait for the last minute.
And we can go decent here.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And if you happen to be in the Middle Tennessee area, consider giving Lost Creek Cave a visit.